Well, that is not how we wanted that to turn out. What's on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We're back on ranked play, playing some Vista Hardpoint, and as the title says, we are recapping Major number 4, in which we actually had a, I'll say, surprising kind of finish to the tournament where some of these teams you weren't expecting to kind of make runs did. So let's start breaking it down. First winners bracket round matchup featured the Toronto Ultra versus the LA Gorillas, and we said easy 3-0. Count them out. But what ended up happening is the Toronto Ultra actually lost this one in the game 4, so it was 3-1. Gorillas actually move on to the second round, so something you kind of weren't expecting. Then you had the LA Thieves versus Miami Heretics. That one kind of was a toss-up. This one, though, does go to the LA Thieves. Then you had FaZe versus Subliners. This one was a 3-0, which you wouldn't think that's a 3-0 given those two teams. I think FaZe is what, number 1? Subliners number, I think, 4. So you don't anticipate that one being a 3-0, but hey, they end up getting a 3-0, so they move on. Then you had the Surge versus Legion. This one actually, first game 5 of the entire tournament. And I was going to say about the only one, but there is a few more down in the losers bracket. So we have the LA Thieves, LA Gorillas, FaZe, and Surge in the winners bracket round number 2. Which then pushes us down to the elimination bracket where we got to start eliminating some teams. So the Toronto Ultra dropped down and face off against the Carolina Royal Ravens. Quick and easy for the Toronto Ultra. They get the 3-0 over Carolina. So that, I believe, does end their year. Then you have the Miami Heretics versus Optic Texas, in which, you know, I think this was our predicted matchup where I was very confident with Optic. You know, even though, you know, they had their struggles online, you know, you'd think once it came time for LAN, they would figure it out. They'd get back in order. And, yeah, that didn't happen. But it does go game 5, round 11. Heretics, they showed up. They beat them today, but you know, that's just a very tough stage for Optic, especially coming off Major 3, where I think they went, what was it, like 6-0, 5-2, something like that, or 6-1, 5-2, something like that, where they did very well. I think it was 6-1, where they did very well. They won the Major. You know, coming off of that, you wouldn't anticipate going from the top of the world to absolute rock bottom, you know, so fast. Even if they got, you know, like 4th this tournament, like, all right, like whatever, like people have their day. But yeah, going from number 1 to 12 is a little bit of an interesting story. So with champs coming up in the next event, they need to figure it out real fast. So Optic do bow out in top 12. Then you have the Subliners versus Rockers. Subliners obviously get the 3-0 in the first, or get 3-0'd in the first round in the winners bracket. They get the 3-1 here versus the Rocker. Then you have the Legion versus Breach. And if you guys don't know the history of the Boston Breach, they had not won a single match on LAN this year. So they were 0-4 entering this matchup. Leaving this event, they are now 0-5. Obviously, not at champs. So Breach bow out, Vegas Legion move on. So then, winners bracket, let's continue in the losers bracket. So we got another round before we have to drop down some teams. So we have the Toronto Ultra versus the Miami Heretics. This one, Ultra do win 3-1. Pretty, you know, solid performance from Toronto. Obviously, that's kind of what you're expecting from the number 2 team in the entire league. Subliners versus Legion. You would have expected Subliners. Subliners do win once again. Also 3-1. So now we're down to, I think it's 6. So now we are back up in the winners bracket where we have the Battle of LA. This one, the LA Gorillas are in the winners finals. Oh, no one had that on their bingo card? All right, gotcha. So Gorillas do get the 3 over the Thieves. Gorillas move to winners finals versus our next matchup being FaZe versus Surge. This one, quick and easy. Once again, 3-0 for the FaZe boys. So I hate to keep saying they're doing well, but they got a really dominant team over there. So you have the LA Gorillas versus Atlanta FaZe going into the winners finals. But dropping down, though, to the elimination bracket, round number 3, we have the Surge versus the Ultra. This one goes game 5. Ultra do walk away with this one, moving them into top 4. Then you have the LA Thieves versus the Subliners, and you have a 3-1 victory for the Subliners, continuing their losers bracket run, which moves us into elimination bracket round number 4, where we have the Ultra versus Subliners, the battle of the 2nd versus the 4th overall seed in the league. And this one, kind of surprising result, but the Subliners do get the 3-0 over the Ultra. Obviously, I wasn't able to watch most of these matchups, which was really crappy. But yeah, Subliners move on. They get the 3-0. They move into the elimination bracket finals. But going up to the winners bracket finals, once again, to FaZe versus Gorillas. FaZe continue their unbeaten streak here, and yeah, now they're 9-0 in this tournament as far as map count goes. So they get the 3-0 over the Gorillas. Quick and easy for the FaZe boys once again. FaZe back in the grand finals, awaiting the winner of our next matchup being the Gorillas that they just dropped down, along with the New York Subliners. And this one, quick and easy, the opposite way though, this time for the Subliners. They get the 3-0 over the Gorillas, getting a rematch back from round number 1. And this time, no more 3-0s. This one goes to the game 6. And funny enough, the Subliners do win this one 4-2 and complete the, I guess, the top 4 major run, where every one of the top 4 teams won a major this year. So that is super cool to see. But now either one of those teams is going to repeat, or we're going to have a brand new champion. And hopefully it's Optic, because, you know, that would be, you know, awesome. But either way, congrats to the New York Subliners. Obviously, they deserve it. You know, they had a crazy run in major number 4 here, where they get 3-0'd in the first round, but they don't give up, right? They beat the Rocker, they beat the Legion, beat the Thieves, beat Ultra, beat Gorillas, and then beat FaZe in the finals. So obviously, a crazy run for them. Good job, and congrats. You know, an underdog team, if you will, but always has the ability to kind of, you know, pop out on top and, you know, get a win under their belt. Also, keep forgetting that they are the defending champs as well from last year. So, a crazy event nonetheless. But something I thought was very interesting was actually a tweet from Slasher. So you guys don't know Slasher, world champion, been around a long time, most notably probably on, I don't know, what, FaZe, Envy, I guess he was on a bunch of other teams in there as well. But he tweeted out, it would be so nice if this setup was used for league matches and then the majors were obviously played in front of fans. So I was like, yeah, that's really cool. So if you guys don't know what the setup actually looks like, it's very close to what you see on the screen. It was a little bit more zoomed out, the picture I was trying to find, but you can see it on your screen now, where the setups are facing each other. You got the cool, almost like underground, like Fight Club type feel to this one, where there's actual like chain link fences. They got the lights in there, obviously, all the graphics, because it's in a studio, and you know, they have the what is it called, the analyst desk looking over top of them, and then from where the camera is looking from was the casters as well. So everyone right in the forest, super cool setup, and I totally agree with Slasher, right? This would be awesome for the, you know, for the league matches. But the only thing is, and this could be a conversation for another video, but, you know, you'd have to have everybody in the same place. So that's not really going to work, or unless you're going to, you know, travel a good amount. So would be really cool, but, you know, for now, we're going to keep with what we got, and we're going to keep looking forward, as Champs is upcoming, and we do have our final standings on the year. And this one was absolutely dominated by our top 4. And like I mentioned earlier, FaZe won an event, Ultra won an event, Optic won an event, Subliners won, obviously, the most recent event, and they are our top 4 teams by far, right? It was not close. So looking at it though, FaZe do win, I think it's the 5th consecutive league, I guess, regular season points title, or whatever you want to call it. 560 points for them, 37-8 series win-loss. And then their map count, very impressive as well, 126 452. So obviously crazy by them. In second place, Toronto Ultra, 495 points, 35-10 win-loss, 112-56. Map loss as well. Optic 415, 29-16, 109-78. And the subliners, I'll just recap the top four: 395, 30-16, and 106-76 map count. And of course, you can see the rest of their totals down there. But you know, you can already tell, right? 195 point difference between 4th and 5th place. So very stacked, top-heavy league this year. You know, it seems like every year we kind of have that with a few kind of dominant teams. And after that, it's like, usually it's like 4 through 11 is all a huge battle for the last, couple of spots. And this year was basically the same thing where, Legion, Royal Ravens, Rocker, Heretics, Thieves, Gorillas, Surge, all were in a fight for the last, 4 spots, essentially. So, crazy battle right to the end. It does suck for Breach that, at one point they were considered a top team, obviously switching around games, switching around rosters. And then this year they come in and, 60 points, 6-27 map count, or a series count, 47-87 map win loss, and 0-5 on land. So, not ideal for the boys at Boston, but crazy enough as it is. But that is going to do it for me in this one. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe. And as always, guys, we will see you in the next one.